सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम। Verse number 17, 1-7. मानसं तु किं मार्गणे कृते नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्जवात्। मानसं तु किं मार्गणे कृते नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्जवात्। वृत्तयस्त्वहं वृत्तिमाश्रिताः वृत्तयो मनो विद्यहं मनः। वृत्तयस्त्वहं वृत्तिमाश्रिताः वृत्तयो मनो विद्यहं मनः। अहमयं कुतो भवति चिन्वत ऐपतत्यहं निज विचारणम्। अहमयं कुतो भवति चिन्वत ऐपतत्यहं निज विचारणम्। अहमिनाशभाज्यहमहं तया स्फुरतिरुत्स्वयं परमपूर्णसत्। स्फुरति अहमिनाशभाज्यहमहं तया स्फुरतिरुत्स्वयं परमपूर्णसत्। इदमहं पदाभिख्यमन्वहम् अहमिलीनके प्यलयसत्तया। इदमहं पदाभिख्यमन्वहम् अहमिलीनके प्यलयसत्तया। विग्रहेन्द्रिय प्राणधीतमः नाहमेकस तज्जडं ह्यसत्। विग्रहेन्द्रिय प्राणधीतमः नाहमेकस तज्जडं ह्यसत्। सत्त्वभासिका चित्त्ववेतरा सत्त्वभासिका चित्त्ववेतरा सत्तया हि चित्तया ह्यहम्। Sattaya hi chittaya hyayam Isha jivayor veshadhibhida Satsvabhavato vastu kevalam Isha jivayo veshadhibhida Satsvabhavato vastu kevalam Sat asvabhavato vastu kevalam. We were discussing for last 2 weeks what is Ishvara Darshanam. What is the vision of the Lord? The catch, the snag or the error is here. We know this, the thing to be created requires two causes, namely the intelligent cause or efficient cause, and secondly, the material cause. During our day-to-day experiences, each and every object that we come across, we find that efficient or intelligent cause is different from the material cause. Whatever we buy, whatever we sell, there practically we buy only the material and plus some skill. We pay for the skill. In the modern times, especially in the times of when there is a fashion and exclusivity and all that. Or we pay for the skill and the material. And generally when we sell, we just sell only the material. We are not paid for the skill. Like when you buy an ornament, not only you pay for the gold, but you pay for the design also. But when you sell, you don't pay for, you are not paid for the design, you are just paid for the ornament, the gold, that much it is. Anyway, this material and efficient cause are always different. This understanding or this experience or this logic is somehow extended to Ishvara and Jagat, the relationship between Bhagavan and Jagat. Whatever the objects that we meet or we experience, we see that material and efficient cause are separate. So this experiential knowledge that they are separate is somehow extended to Ishvara, and Ishvara is considered to be separate from the creation. This is the notion. And due to this notion, on account of this misconception, the Ishvara or the Lord is placed by us somewhere outside obtaining creation, outside the perceptible creation, outside the world that you see here during this, when you are in this body. They conveniently say that you can meet him or you can see him or you can reach him after the death. Not while you are in this body. Not while you are living in this world. So he is somewhere outside this world. But that somewhere outside this world is again within creation. That means again the Creator is placed within the creation, and it is construed that Creator creates creation sitting within the creation. That example and the standard most misconceived notion is sitting in heaven, he created. And that too again another notion, he. Why not she for a change? Why not it for a change? That creator cannot be inside creation nor outside creation. Because the very word inside and outside is only with reference to creation. Like I had said earlier, there is open land. I see in the Western world often. I had experience in Toronto. I used to every year I used to go there, except this year. I'll not travel to North America. But then when I travel, then there used to be a huge piece of land, open land. And we used to pass by because another student was living further ahead. And then I saw some housing complex coming up. And another guy happened to buy the house in that complex. He buy a house, 3-bedroom house, and then next year invited me for Bhiksha. And he said, Swamiji, our rules are very strict. We cannot leave anything outside our house. This outside, inside is because the house is there. When it was a huge piece of land, where is the inside, outside? Everything was outside and everything was inside. So can neither be inside or neither be within the creation or can neither be away from the creation. Seeking Lord, considering knowing Him to be material cause as away from the intelligent cause like any other object obtaining in the world is like pot is seeking clay. The very search for the clay, listen this, stems from the conclusion that I am not the clay. And the flip side of this statement is, I am pot. When the pot considers itself as Mr. or Miss Pot, then only the search for the clay begins. And where is the self-identity? In that self-awareness, I am pot. That I am is clay. There is nothing called pot. That I amness, the very isness of the pot belongs to clay. It is that means the search for the clay begins. The desire to seek the clay begins when it takes itself to be non-clay. And to take itself to be non-clay means there is a lot of clay inside. There is a lot of dust inside in the brain. So that means I am not clay means what? I am Mr. Pot. In that statement or that awareness, I am Mr. Pot, I am is clay. Pot had never been away in any which way, away from the clay. It is only a sense. So that I am away from Ishvara, I have to see the Ishvara. I want to have meeting with Ishvara. I at least once jhaki, as they call it in Hindi, here northern, jhaki. Bhagavan ki jhaki karvi. I have to see him, I have to talk to him, I have to experience him. All these desires or statements are equivalent to pot saying, I have to see the clay, I have to meet the clay, I want to at least talk to the clay, etc. And I am away from it. This is a notion. All the time, Mr. Pot is clay. But that, the sense that I am pot is only a sense. Understand? So ahankara is only a sense. When it takes itself to be the form and the size, since the pot is not separate from the clay, the potness is only because it takes itself to be of that shape and form. In other words, listen this sentence carefully. The eye to see the clay, pot has to shift the eye, which is as of now placed in the pot, to clay. Eye has the identity, self-identity is to be shifted from clay or from pot to clay. And the potness is just, as I said, a sense, name and form, identification with name and form. I, when identify with my physio-psycho complex, that is Hankara and Jiva, and that Jiva, when it wants to see Ishvara, to see Ishvara, Jiva has nothing to do other than removing the I as though from physio-psycho complex and placing the I into that I amness of Jiva. I am pot, that I amness of the pot is clay. Similarly, I amness of I don't know, this is my word, you please bear with me, my English word, I amness. This I amness is pure consciousness. It is what I am. Then the aham taya ya samvidu jrum bhayate balya dishva vijagrada dishu tata ityadi, that I is the same as Ishvara. The difference between Jiva and Ishvara is Veshadhi Vida. The very creation of Jiva is like creation of pot, which is just an apparent. Understand, pot is functional. I'm not denying that there is no pot. If you want to hold water and if you want to carry water, you need a pot. As Swamiji say, clay by itself doesn't hold water. You need a pot to hold water. But just by the fact that it can hold water, it doesn't mean that it is true. Similarly, mame vamsho jiva loke jiva bhutaha. That jivatvam, that I-ness is there, ego is there as long as you have to conduct vyavara into this world. Jiva loke means vyavara loke, pratyaksha loke, or even paroksha loke, kopi loke. In any loka, whenever you want to interact, you need that sense, that individuality. But that is sanatana. That means what? It is not the truth. Since jivatvam is superimposed on sanatan Brahma, therefore it becomes sanatana. The snake superimposed on a rope can survive as long as the rope survives, because the adhishthanam is of that nature. So here the adhishthanam is satyam gnanam anantam Brahma. Therefore, this samsara also is nitya. Jiva is also nitya. Look at the first verse of the 15th chapter. Urdhva mula madashakam ashwatham prahurabhyam chandamsi yasya paranani yastam. Ashwatha vruksha. Ashwatha means that which is not going to be there tomorrow. In the very next word he says avyayam avinash. It is undestructible. Why? That is superimposed on samsara, is a superimposition which is superimposed on a vastu which is avinash. As the adhishthanam, so the dhyaropa. The size of the snake is the size of the rope. The shape of the snake, curves of the snake is the curves of the rope. And similarly, existence of the snake will be as long as the rope exists. But with a clause, the superimposed thing, though is nitya, till ignorance. You add, it can be destroyed when the knowledge takes place. So the jiva, if pot wants to see the clay, it is to just remove its ignorance. It need not do anything. People do all kinds of yatras, they do tapas, and then they go to some place and to meditate and to japa because I want to see him, see him, see him. And somebody promises, my Ishvara is better than yours. Ours is the only God. So you change religion so that you can have God vision. And the fellow changes religion. It is, it is like the Hindu pot becomes Muslim pot, or Hindu pot becomes a Christian pot. I can give only these two examples because the reverse is not possible. The reverse is not possible. Therefore, I have to say only this way. But whether it is a Hindu pot or a Christian pot, it is a pot. It remains a pot. It remains a jiva. I am parichinna. I am a dukhi, etc. By just becoming Christian or Muslim, that fellow is not going to be happy all the way. Just by becoming American citizen, you don't become happy. In India, people have seen, people have craze. I want to go to America, go to America, go to America, and they go and get a green card and then citizen and feel happy. It's a momentarily. You are same samsari. Whether it is a Christian or Muslim or Hindu pot, it is basically clay. It need not change even the religion. It need not, and that is why, look at the other side of this statement, flip side of my statement. That is why our Sanatan Dharma, Vedic vision is applicable to all. It is not meant for only faithfuls. Because unfaithful also is clay. Non-believer is also clay. It is not meant for only faithfuls. Even if you don't believe in it, the fact still remains. Knowledge doesn't change. Swarupa is unchangeable and it doesn't change. So whether a Christian pot also, if studies pot Vedanta, it will discover that I am clay. And a Hindu pot studies pot Vedanta, it discovers I am clay. That's all. So therefore this dharma is called Sanatana. This is the unique aspect of our dharma. Anyway, coming back to this topic. So, that being the case, he says, look at now the sloka. Isha jivayo veshadhibhida satsvabhavato vastu kevalam. The division, the so-called Ishvara, the Ishvara, which is who is a creator, sustainer and dissolver, etc., the status of being creator is also incidental when you accept the creation. Please understand. When the material cause and intelligent cause is same, and when it is the cause of the various time and space, actually there is no creation. It is only manifestation. Like even I am the intelligent and the both and material cause for my dream. There is no creation of the dream. It is only I manifest as those objects. And the right word would be I appear to be those. The very time and space is also created by mind. There is no external space, like spider can create a web, but the external space is available. In dream, you create your time and space and sentient and inner objects and their movements and all happening and experiences and everything. Though, for a want of better word, we use the word create. But if you ask the person, did he create really anything? Well, it was just a manifestation. Was it a manifestation? Again, no. It was just an appearance. Since this is, I'll add one more step, though it is not here in this topic. But for explanation further, this is a methodology of teaching. Adhyaropa upward. The student takes the creation as real. The teacher also says it is real, but this is not by itself, it is created by Ishvara. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayante visarvishanti ti tad vijignasasva tad brahmeti. From whom this has come and by whom which is sustained and unto whom it gets dissolved, that is Brahman. And then further it says, Tasmadva etasmad atmana akasha sambhuda akashat vayu, etc. goes on. Since creation is taken as real, ultimate reality, to shift the attention from this to reality, it is said that Brahman creates. And then it is told that creation is apparent. There is no real creation. So the status of creator, I get a status of creator when I have my projective power to create the dream. It is in a way projection, in a way manifestation, as though I became everything, as though I brought forth everything, and as though I took away everything unto me. That's all, as though, whole thing. There is no really something created. Similarly, that same Brahman, when it as though invokes, brings out its creative power called Maya, it becomes as though Ishvara. So status of becoming Ishvara is also as though apparent. Whole creation is apparent. And then when it is apparent, the creator, status of creator of an apparent creation is also apparent. You are a creator of this apparent creation. That means the status is as though creation, and therefore you are as though creator. That is Veshata. Godliness, as they call it, you know. This reporter asked one fellow, "Are you a god?" They said, "What do you mean by this question? Do you possess godliness?" I don't know what godliness it is. But the status of Ishvara is because of creative power Maya. It is as though. And the status of being Jiva is also as though it is all the way pure consciousness. Like I am wave and I am ocean. That oceanness is with reference to wave, and the waveness is with reference to a wave, size and form. But that I amness is H2, in which there is no oceanness, there is no waveness. The oceanness is as though, waveness is also as though. And that being as though, the very search of the Jiva to have a vision of Ishvara is illegitimate. It is, although you can say it is as though search, and the resolution also is as though. The search culminates, search ends only when Jiva discovers Ishvara as the very self, the consciousness not away from me, that I am, that isness is awareness, and that is the Swarupa of Ishvara, that is non-separate from me. Therefore it is says, Isha Darshanam Swadma Rupata. Okay? The vision of Ishvara is as the self. One has to see Ishvara as non-separate from the self. You know, I am the form of awareness, and that is the Swarupa of Ishvara. And Ishvara is also in the form of awareness. So, from the standpoint of the essential nature of I and Ishvara, it is nothing but pure awareness, that is Sat Swabhavataha Vastuki. From the essential nature point of view, or from the existence point of view, that, or you can say from my word, from I amness point of view, the I amness of the wave and I amness of the ocean, from that I amness point of view, it is Sat Vastu. Truth is only one, there is nothing separate. Therefore, look at this earlier verse, the 19th verse. Sorry, not 19th. Isha Jivayo Veshadhi Vida Sat Swabhavato Vastu Kevalam. Now, how do you get that? It clarifies in the next verse. Look at this. Look at the verse number 25. Veshahanata Swatmadarshanam Ishadarshanam Swatmarupata. Veshahanata Swatmadarshanam Ishadarshanam Swatmarupata. These two verses together. Isha Jivayo Veshadhi Vida. Sorry. Isha Jivayor Veshadhi Vida Sat Swabhavato Vastu Kevalam. Veshahanata Swatmadarshanam Isha Darshanam Swatmarupata. Isha Darshanam Swatmarupata. Veshahanataha. Hani means in a way destruction, but here in the context is removal. When the Vesha is removed, and last time we have seen, Vesha means costume. Vesha means makeup. Vesha means that which is responsible for an appearance which is not its own nature. Like actor wearing a dress of a beggar, makeup of a beggar, appearance of a beggar which is not true to its own nature, actor's nature, is a rich guy. So Vesha, and the other meaning is Upadhi. Upadhi is Vesha. Veshahanataha. When you destroy Upadhi, when you remove Upadhi, Swatmadarshanam. You see yourself means you can appreciate yourself, you know yourself. And that is Isha Darshanam Swatmarupata. The self-appreciation is vision of Ishvara. Which Ishvara? The one who is staying in heaven, or who is in Vaikuntha or Kailasa? No. Swatmarupata. The vision of the Lord as one's own self. So you discover Ishvara as non-separate from yourself. That is Swatmadarshanam Ishadarshanam. Now, that means what? Elimination of Upadhi. Removal of Upadhi. It is not, see, these are the limitations of the word. You have been hearing quite often that you cannot describe or reveal the self by the words. We know it is not the direct meaning of the word, pratyaksha. It is not the pratyaksha artha, It is Lakshyartha here. Veshahani, that doesn't mean you remove the body. Doesn't mean you kill yourself. The wise man gives up the body. That means how do you know that fellow is wise man? Because everyone who dies gives up the body. And they don't become wise. So this is the implied meaning of Veshahana. Okay? What is Veshahana? Removing the I sense from the body. You may say, no. I sense is, that means wise person doesn't have I sense in the body. You and I also don't have I sense in the body when we sleep. When you go to bed, when you are in a deep sleep, there is no much of a body awareness, practically nil. Therefore, however the person may be conscious about himself or herself, they're always coming out with makeup. When you see them, if at all they allow you to see themselves in the bedroom, you may wonder, is the same person I see during the daytime? The hair and my face and everything is in different state. Even some people who are mentally challenged, some persons I have seen who has some issues, psychological issues, they also don't have body sense. They say, if the diabetic can create that sense that you lose sensation in your feet, people lose that if they are not careful about it. So what does it mean that giving up the identification with the body? And I would say this, you cannot give up also. Unless you are sleeping or unless you are under the effect of anesthesia, you cannot give up identification. How can you give up? You just can't give up. And if at all you can give up, it's momentary. As long as prarabdha is, you have to identify with the body. You have no choice. It's natural. So these words are implied meaning. What does it mean? That self, listen this carefully, that self which is obtaining identified with the body is not real. Actor can, when as long as he or she is on the stage playing the role, cannot give up identification with the dress, the upadhi. He has to conduct himself as a beggar. But even while conducting as a beggar, he has given up the identification, meaning thereby what? That I sense, the obtaining I as a beggar is apparent. Understand? The upadhi is apparent, and the upadhi identified individuality is apparent. This is all self-knowledge. And the wise man does have identification. Suppose a wise man, Swami Dayanji used to come to US, and they also must have been passing through immigration. And the Americans will have a problem to read our long names, Swami, Dayananda, Saraswati. Dayananda, they don't know. He might be reading Swami, and the Swamiji had Suresh also with him. Swami Daya, yes, Swami Dayananda, I am Swami Dayananda, he would say. Or he would, when they give them 2 passports, generally they don't bother to open. Which is yours? Who are you? Then he will say, this is mine, I am Swami Dayananda. And then he asks immigration officer, are you Dayananda? Chidananda Rupa Sivo. Swamiji won't say that. I don't say that when I say, na ham deho, na prano, na mano, buddhi, ahankar. No, I don't say to that. You have identity. And then at least when you come out, Nipa or Deepak comes to pick me up, and then they say, Swamiji, if Deepak comes in, she says, he will invariably bring something. Nipa will send my tea cup because masala chai I miss in the flight. They will ask me, and in Canada, Sunil comes up. He also has a masala chai. You know, I can survive in US and Canada because of this. I say this. It is like my that great quotient, you know, that obliques and asterisks, that divine push. So he says, Swamiji, how are you feeling? Will you have tea? I say, yes, I will have tea. I need tea. This, I see, giving up identification also is to be understood implied. That means you cannot give up. There is identification as long as prarabdha is, as long as the last actor is playing the role, wearing the dress, he will have to say beggar or king, etc. But he or she knows this beggarliness is apparent. Knowing, giving up identification, Vesahana means knowing that you have awareness. There is a space within by which you know that this I sense of physio-psycho-complex is apparent. It is called Badhita Ahankara in Shastric language. Or if I use Puja Swamiji's word, that is called enlightened ego. Ego means individuality. The ignorant person also has individuality. And wise person also has individuality. I am Swami Dayananda, I am hungry, I need to do this, I need to go there, I want to do this, I want to do that. That I sense will be there. But there is like the actor saying on the stage, depending upon his role, in the costume, I have to get this, I have to do this. But there is an awareness that this is apparent. That is why it is that individuality. What is enlightened ego? The enlightened ego knows that individuality is apparent. Enlightened ego is one who knows the duality is apparent. Enlightened ego knows that Ishvara is away from you. Me is apparent. You know, when this is understood, what we say, when the identification with the body-mind complex is given up, Veshahanata. So removal of the Vesha, costume. Two things I will just again summarize. Hani means not destruction. Removing the identification, that doesn't mean you just give up, I am not body. No. Removing the identification means knowing that identification is apparent. When that is given up, it is Isha Darshanam. That means what? When you know this is apparent, there cannot be apparent without real. The apparent, if at all is, has to be superimposed on something which is real. Like on a movie screen, the actor is, the hero is, heroine is, villain is, extras are. That they are because there is something is. What is screen or a light has to be there. Similarly, that apparent is, the enlightened ego is because there is pure consciousness, Chit Atma, and that is the nature of Ishvara. That is you, pure existence is you, and that is real Isha Darshan. Please understand. You know, two things. Bhagavan was physically available to Arjuna. And he was his bosom friend. He was his brother-in-law, dearest cousin, everything. If you read Mahabharata, he just almost deliberately spent most of the time in life with Arjuna. He himself says, "You are my friend, Sakha." He himself says, "You are my great devotee." Bhakto si mein sakha chet. You are great devotee. This Arjuna saw Lord Krishna as something separate from himself. He himself gave him Gita Upadesh. If either Isha Darshanam, what we think is seeing Lord or experiencing Bhagavan, if it is enough, then Arjuna had not only enough, he had much, much more than enough. No one in the history of in our history, we can find such a great bhakta having so much of proximity with Ishvara. So much so that in Mahabharata, twice Krishna tells this, "I am the servant of Pandavas." And his love, extra love, or you can say extra intimacy with Arjuna was very vivid. Entire Mahabharata, you see. Or you can say in modern word, his comfort level with Arjuna. Among all Pandavas, he had the highest comfort level with Arjuna. So Arjuna didn't require Ishwar darshan. Still, Krishna knew this is not complete darshan. Therefore, he created a situation wherein this fellow would ask, and he gave him the knowledge. He taught him, "Look, this is I. I am not this as you see as Krishna, but I am your very self." Understand? So, Veshahanatah. You know the 13th chapter, Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramitya Bhidiyate Etadyo Vettitam Prahu Kshetragna. Kshetragnam Chapimam Vidhi Sarva Kshetreshu Bharate. Arjuna, I am Kshetragna. 6th chapter. Sarvabhutastamatmanam Sarvabhutani Chatmani Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshana. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasya aham na pranashyami sachame, etc. So many verses. The whole teaching of Bhagavad Gita is to help Arjuna see the fact that this is not my identity, this is my apparent identity as Mr. Krishna, as your friend or your cousin, your brother-in-law, etc. In reality, I am you and you are I. That's what he tells Aikya. Jivishwar Aikya is revealed. So, Isha Darshanam is Svatmaru, as the very self. That is the real vision of real or ultimate. Ishvara in a given form, whatever form you want. See, and he can create the entire world. He can create extra 2 forms for himself also. And then that means he can come as Rama and Krishna and Ganesha and Shiva and Hanuman. And he can come as Jesus also, and he can come as Allah also. Any form. Because that way if he can create such a beautiful creation full of all varieties, why not one more for himself? He can have it. He says, not only I come in a form, but the way you want. If a Hindu worships God, no doubt today modern Hindus are wearing pant and jeans and t-shirts and tie and suit. But Krishna will always come in dhoti. He will see Krishna in dhoti. He will not see Krishna with yellow pant and yellow shirt because he likes that yellow color. Krishna will not come with a suited booted Krishna. He will be Pitambar Dhari Krishna. And if a Christian is worshipping God and wanting to see God, Christian will never see God in dhoti. He will come in suit only. The way you want, he is available. That's not complete darshan. discovering him as the very self of me. That means this is a surrender. I am not there. And I sense that individuality is not there. Whatever is Ishvara. Or you can say, I am everything. You can say, whatever is ocean. Or it can say, I am ocean. Both are true because both the statements are made from the standpoint of view of I equal to H2O. So whatever is Ishvara, that is Satchidananda. Otherwise, Ishvara is a ruler of the creation. If you see from Upadhi, whatever is Ishvara, non-separate from him, that means Satyam Gnanam Anantam. Or I am everything. That is Satyam Gnanam. That is why it says Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam Sarva Bhutani Chatmani. Sees the self in everything and sees everything in the self. Which self? Not the apparent self, that is Satchit Swarupa. That is Swatma Darshan. We'll discuss something further tomorrow. I have some more lecture at 9:15. Some of you might have received. I will conclude and talk. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.